Hello everyone, welcome to my desk tour end of 2018. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy super late Hanukkah. Yeah, I don't know, I wanted to make a video for the end of the year, kind of wrap things up. We've done a lot with the server stuff over the year, and it's been a really great year. I'm trying to expand what I do a little bit and talk about other things I enjoy. Not for really any real purpose. I don't know if that I'm going to become a reviewer or anything like that, but I do enjoy other things besides just, server stuff. So here's me talking about the way my desk is set up at the end of 2018. Maybe I'll do one of these next year and end of 2019. Maybe I'll do one middle of 2019 and see how things change. I love changing things around, playing around with different things. I mean, honestly, my favorite thing is just having the ability to put in new equipment and change things around and see what works together and what I like, and being able to do that is just, I love that. So you'll probably see this change a lot through videos. I might not talk about it all the time, but just know that everything's kind of in a constant state of flux. Might not be as clean as some of the setups you see online. I do my best with cable management and stuff, and kind of because of camera angle you can't see, but there's a huge mess of cables behind these two monitors. But I do my best, and I change, like I said, I change things out a lot, so it's hard to keep all of that, together and intact while changing stuff. So it is what it is. But yeah, I guess I'm going to start with the simple stuff first. Keyboard, I have the Cooler Master Master Keys Pro L RGB full-size keyboard. It's got MX Brown switches. I had the stock keycaps on it for about 30 seconds, then I ripped them off and put the HyperX PBT double shot backlit pudding caps. And hopefully you can see with the camera, but the sides of the keys are translucent as well as the top. So especially when it's dark and there's not this studio lighting in here, you can really see the lighting through the sides of the keycaps. Logitech G Pro mouse. It is RGB, but not because I want it to be RGB. This was like 29 bucks. Oh, keyboard was 75 on Massdrop. I think sometimes it's 99 on Amazon. Usually it's like 160 retail or something ridiculous like that, but excuse me. Anyway, G Pro was $29.99, I think. And I like really simple mice. It's wired, 2 buttons on the top, your left and right, and then 2 buttons on the left side of the mouse. I don't use thumb buttons, so really just kind of 2 buttons plus a scroll wheel. And yeah, great mouse. HyperX Fury Speed Edition mouse mat. I think it's my 4th mouse mat of this year. I had the Myonix French fry mat before. You can see that in my other videos, but this one just kind of happened to fit the color scheme and the red P20 amp, and looks nice. So mouse mat's pretty good. Got it on sale for, again, like $10 or something like that on Amazon. So I don't always go for the most expensive or nicest stuff. I don't know. I like what I like, and if it's a good deal, I'll try to pick one up or something like that. Change things around, see what I like. So easy stuff out of the way. Behind my nightcap is a DualShock 4. My absolutely favorite preferred controller. This thing gets a lot of use, especially with Dark Souls, Hollow Knight, geez, I don't know what else, Dead Cells. Pretty much anything that can't play with mouse and keyboard or it's a little bit better on the controller, I play with this guy. That's always there. That will probably not change unless they come out with a PS4 Pro Edition controller or something like that. But man, that thing is awesome. I prefer it to the Xbox One controllers. Fight me in the comments. So yeah, I'm gonna avoid the audio stuff because you know I love my audio stuff. I could probably talk about that for an hour. I'm gonna avoid this just for a little bit until the last part of the video. We have an Echo Dot Gen 3. Picked this up on sale for $2 with a Spotify. Was it Spotify? No, it was the Amazon unlimited music promotion. It was like 99 cents for the 3-month trial and then $1.01 for an Echo Dot. So that guy's just hanging out there. And I'm sorry, that girl, don't want to misgender the A word. She's just hanging out there. If I need to ask her something, she's there, but don't really do a whole lot with it. Anker wireless Qi charger for my iPhone XS. Sits kind of in the corner, out of the way of my mousing surface. This is usually off to the side like this. Gives me a pretty good mouse surface there. Apple Watch is kind of off the side, but you know, normally I'm wearing that. In the back, next to the Echo Dot, got a couple spare tubes for this guy. A couple dead Mica Origin G2s. This is a tragic story. I'm not gonna dive too deep in the audio stuff, but this guy had dropped. My own fault. You can see the corners kind of bashed up here. And it is now permanently stuck in USB mode. So I gotta get this guy sent off, see if they'll replace it or fix it for me. And I don't mind paying for it. This guy, I put in my bag one day. This is my travel one. Put it in my bag one day, took it out. Output's nothing but static. And I can't tell you how many people have these things and they're fantastic and reliable. I love them. I still love this thing. But for whatever reason, this one just shit the bed. So it's not working. Yeah. So those are just kind of off to the side now. On my desk right now, I normally have... okay, so let me start over. I normally had a... I always have 2 monitors. And usually I have enough stuff going on where I can justify having 2 monitors. I've tried to have just 1 monitor for a while, and it just didn't really work for me. It doesn't work for what I have going on, the amount of time I spend talking in Discord to you guys, watching YouTube videos while I'm doing something else. 1 monitor just does not work for me. So this year, we've got 2 new monitors. I had dual 24-inch 1080p monitors before. One was 144 Hz Asus, was a VG248QE, lovely monitor. That got sent over to Faultline, and he's quite, from what I hear, he's quite enjoying it. So that's a great monitor, still like it, but managed to pick up a 240 Hz 25-inch, the extra inch I don't care about, but 240 Hz versus 144 Hz before. This monitor I freaking love. It's amazing. Color's just as good as the Asus one, but man, I can really tell the difference between 240 Hz and 144 Hz. And not everyone cares. Not everyone can really tell the difference. I'm not saying that I'm like special or anything like that, but if you're playing a game that can push 240 Hz or 200 Hz plus, I personally can notice the difference. And I even got time to A/B test the 240 versus 144. The difference was not night and day. It was more of a subtle difference, but in a competitive game where everything counts, man, I love the 240. 240 is great. And then the other 24-inch, which was 1080p, got replaced with this. This is a 34-inch Acer 3440 by 1440 100 Hz. And you know, actually lately I've been playing Battlefield on this. I can't push more than like 120 frames at 1080 on this monitor in Battlefield. So I've actually been playing on this guy, and I can push more than 100 even at that resolution. I don't know if that's just like a game optimization thing. I mean, I've got a pretty decent computer, 7700K, 16 gig of RAM, 1080 Ti. It's all overclocked, very stable. But for whatever reason, I've just been playing on this because the frame rate's good. I mean, I'm not, even though it's a 240 hertz monitor, if I'm only pushing 120 frames at 1080p, might as well play at the bigger frame rate, or bigger resolution, around the same frame rate. And yeah, so I've been enjoying this monitor for that. And on the top, see if I can do this without making too much noise. On the top, I've got a Logitech C920 webcam. Don't really use it for a webcam a whole lot. It's my occasional microphone. I have a Blue Yeti floating around in the aether somewhere, and usually I use that, but for whatever reason, this microphone and the Blue Yeti, if I'm not using a boom microphone with my headphones, they both really love to pick up my keyboard, my mouse. Everyone complains about it, so I don't know whether I just have an acoustically unforgiving setup in that regard or something like that, but yeah, maybe I'll get a microphone arm in the future. Over way in the corner, on the other side, there's a speaker on this side. There's a speaker on this side. I'm not going to rotate the camera, but just picture a speaker that looks exactly like this one over here. I have my Ubiquiti access point. It's an AC Pro, and that serves the whole downstairs. We don't do a whole lot wireless in the other room to the left, so it, you know, it's just good for phones and stuff. And then we have one upstairs too, so it just kind of chills down here, hangs out down here. That's pretty much everything, I think, as far as non-audio stuff goes. Oh, computer-wise, I've got the tower underneath the desk down that way. And like I said, that's a 7700K water-cooled with 1080 Ti water-cooled. They're both using AIO water coolers. Like the 1080 Ti is a MSI. It's like the MSI Corsair, whatever the all-in-one water-cooled version is. But it works great. Don't plan on upgrading anytime soon. It's enough to do my content and, you know, pretty much whatever game I want to play. So pretty happy with that. Yeah, so I guess we can just dig into the audio stuff now. I'm going to move this guy a little bit. So everything's stacked. I have 5 devices. This is the main device. This is the Emotiva Big Ego. I picked that guy up for, I want to say 65. They were closing them out. They were closing out the little Ego, the big Ego. They're both DACs, and they're really only a DAC. You could plug headphones in the front, but they're not really that powerful for powering headphones. So I'm really just using it as a DAC. It goes USB into the back of the monitor. There's a 4-port hub in the monitor, just for convenience sake. I haven't noticed any extra noise doing it that way, so if I notice any problems, I'll change it. But right now, it's just coming from the back of the monitor to this big Ego. And then from the big Ego, we have 2 different connections. We have an optical out from the big Ego into the FX Audio DAC X6. And I can power that guy on with the flip of this switch here. And then in order to change that to optical, I just push the button on the front of the Emotiva. A green light comes on and it says optical. And there's an optical switch on this FX Audio. I could do USB through the monitor if I wanted to, but I try to simplify things a little bit. So big Ego and then the FX Audio. And I can plug headphones in the front of this if I want. It also has line out on the back of the FX Audio, back of this guy, going into the Loxg P20 hybrid tube amp. And I can turn that guy on just by pushing the front of that. That guy turns on, takes a little bit to warm up. But the cool thing about this setup, when this is outputting optical, when the Ego's outputting optical, I can plug in headphones to the front of the FX audio for a solid state. You know, it's like a decently amped signal. It's pretty, I mean, it's a $65 unit, so, I mean, how good can it sound really? It sounds pretty good. And then I can also plug in to the P20 at the same time. So that's really nice, especially if I have people over or something like that. I can plug in the P20, they can plug in the FX audio, or I can just plug in multiple headphones, try them out in different, you know, see how they sound on a solid state and see how they sound on a hybrid tube. Now, the other thing coming out of the Big Ego is a line out via 3.5mm. And that's going from 3.5mm to RCA into the new flagship of my desk, which will never change. This is just now permanently here forever. The THX AAA 789 by Massdrop, which is I it's impossible for me to oversell this. It is the best headphone amp that you will likely ever hear, unless you're going to an audio trade show or something like that. It's around 350 or 360, something like that. It's completely solid state. It's completely linear. It's as transparent, low distortion, just low noise. I mean, it's insane how good this thing is. So we're going out from the Big Ego into the line in on the 789. You can turn this guy on with just the power button there. And then we have 3 gain switches. And I use the Massdrop HD 6XX by Sennheiser. These are also notoriously hard to drive headphones. And yeah, so I use those with the 789. They sound fantastic. And I use them on gain 3. And then the really cool thing about the 789, I don't know why they would put this on there, but it has it. It has single-ended pass-through, so it has like line-out pass-through. So right next to the line-in input on the back, there's another line out, and it just passes through whatever's going through it. So I have the FX Audio P1 tube amplifier plugged into the line out of the 789. And the reason I have these two stacked together and the other two stacked together, they pair really well. The FX Audio and the 789 are completely different sounding, and they sound so different, it's really hard to believe. This is a full tube amplifier, and it can also do speakers. So it doesn't do powered speakers like the JBLs. What it will do though are unpowered bookshelves like the ELAC B6s or the B6.2. And I mean, that's just a great setup. So the P1 is this whole stack, these two things. They're not leaving my desk ever. This is the P1 is, I don't know, I'm at a loss for words. It's almost 1/3 the cost of the 789, but I almost like it more. I think it'll probably take the cake for my favorite audio device of 2018. I haven't seen anyone review it. There's been a couple people that like it on Massdrop. No one's reviewed it on Amazon. Z hasn't reviewed it. DMS, Joshua Valor, none of them have reviewed it. It's just such a cool little device. You have swappable tubes. You have the warm tube sound. You can plug in super awesome speakers like the ELACs, and it's a great headphone amp too. So when you want to plug in headphones, you want that warm tube headphone sound, just plug in headphones right to the front, your speakers shut off, and you're immediately into amped headphone mode. And the nice thing about the 789, the pass-through, it works whether the amp is on or off. So I can actually run the 789 and the P1 at the same time. I can have the speakers on at a very low volume while I'm listening to headphones at a very loud volume or something like that. It's just a really cool setup. I'm very, very happy with my stack and the way things are right now. So the big ego right now is the heart of everything. It's an unbalanced stack. I think 2019, I'm going to be looking at a balanced stack for the 789. They're really making a lot of noise with fireworks outside. But I don't think that's going to change much, because really what I'm going to do is just add the balanced stack and then keep the unbalanced plugged into the big ego. So as far as that goes, I think that's going to stay. I believe the P20 is going to be given away to one of my friends for Christmas, a late Christmas gift. And really, as far as other changes, I have 2 more X6s coming just because they're really solid DACs. And what I think I'll do is do an optical out splitter from the big ego into 3 X6s, and then use the line pass from each one of those into other amps I want to test, like the JDS Labs Atom, or I don't know what else is on my amp list to test, but I know the JDS Labs Atom for 99 bucks is on my list. So yeah. Oh, I also might, once I get the G2s back up and working, I'll probably take one of the optical splitters, plug it into the G2, and then also put the LSR, not the LSRs, they're not called LSRs anymore, the JBL 306P Mark II. They'll be going right next to the ELACs, if I can find some room over there somewhere. And yeah, it'd be fun to A/B them and play around with them. As far as my headphone choices for gaming, usually the 6XX, and if I want a little bit extra oomph, I'll pick up the Fidelio X2s. Unfortunately, they're not made anymore. Both of those are open back headphones, and if I'm not going to do anything with those, then it's going to be the Takstar Pro 82s, which these are closed back. These are very bassy. Love them. But for the most part, when I'm gaming, listening to music, it's all going to be off of the 789, just because of how crisp and clean and how transparent it is. And if I'm doing more of a relaxed session, then I'll switch over to the P1. The P20 right now is just for playing for the most part. And then, like I said, the X6 is just kind of here for now. But like I said, when I do testing, I do the full gamut. I do everything. So if I get a new pair of headphones in, I'm talking about them, they all get it. The headphones, you know, say I get these X2s in, never did a review on them. It's getting tested on all of this. So yeah, that's my desk tour for 2018. I don't think I really have any other plans for it. I've been pretty happy with the way that everything's turned out here. And the big changes were the ELACs, the 2 monitors, which are, man, I mean, if you haven't got an ultra-wide, I always make fun of people with ultra-wides because I'm like, you know, the secret about ultra-wides is that there's an ultra-wide hiding in every single 16:9, which is, you know, you could make your 16:9 an ultra-wide by forcing the resolution to be something else, but you know, it doesn't really work like that. But ultra-wides are cool. I still don't think I could have one monitor. I even tried just having one ultra wide, and man, it wasn't cutting it. It's nice having that. Say you pull up a window, and you know, you have half the screen. That's a great size for a browser window, but it's just, I don't know, it's still not enough. I like having those two split with browser windows, or like one with Discord and one with a browser window, and then whatever I'm actively looking at or playing a game over here. So that is what it is. Mouse hasn't changed all year. I've been using this guy all year. Mouse mat changed a couple times. Keyboard, I can imagine this staying for at least 6 months. Love this keyboard. So yeah, if you have any questions about any of this stuff, anything you want to see from me in the coming year, please let me know. Please leave a comment below. Come hang out with us on Discord. We talk about all kinds of stuff. Not just server stuff. We talk about gaming, photography, cars, firearms, all kinds of stuff. So, Happy New Year officially. It's 12 o'clock. I think you can see that. It's 12 o'clock. Happy New Year. I'm dropping my mic. Anyway, it's a good start to the year already. That'll wrap it up for me. And I hope you guys have a good New Year. Hope your year next year, this year, is as good as my last year was. So, thanks for everyone that's supporting me on Patreon and who continues to do that. And if you are interested about any of this stuff, check out some of my videos on it. I have videos on most of it. Check out the links in the description below. And I'll see you guys in the new year.